So from today, our new migration and economic development partnership will mean that anyone entering the UK illegally, as well as those who have arrived illegally since January the 1st, may now be relocated to Rwanda.
Hang on a minute.
The president of Rwanda has been accused of human rights abuses on more than one occasion.
That is true.
In fact, according to well-respected charities like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, Rwanda has an extremely concerning record of human rights abuses, including concerns about torture and abortion rights. Just last July, the UK's International Ambassador for Human Rights condemned Rwanda for its lack of transparency on human rights abuse allegations. Today's announcement appears deliberately timed to distract the public from the Partygate scandal, in which both the Prime Minister and his Chancellor were found to have broken the law.
And this is not something that we have put together overnight.
Well, this is what one Home Office minister said just 8 days ago.
Well, if it's happening in the Home Office on the same corridor all the time, they haven't told me about it.
To justify the policy, which Amnesty International has called cruel, the government is sending out ministers to say this.
I think the numbers for last year were 28,000 people coming across the channel, attempted to come across the channel. Vast majority of those were economic migrants.
There is absolutely no evidence that the vast majority of people coming across the channel are economic migrants and not asylum seekers. Research carried out by the Refugee Council shows the majority of nationals from the countries most represented in small boat arrivals are granted asylum. A similar claim was made by Home Secretary Priti Patel last October. In the last 12 months alone, 70% of the individuals who have come to our country illegally via small boats are single men who are effectively economic migrants. They are not genuine asylum seekers. This is what Peter Walsh, a researcher at the Migration Observatory, said about the claim.
All the evidence and data, she said, has shown that in the last 12 months, 70% of the people arriving on small boats were economic migrants. Do you have any idea where that figure might be arrived at?
Actually, I don't know. I'm not aware of any data that would support that statement. We do know the outcomes of asylum seekers who come from the countries that are popular among channel migrants. And amongst those asylum seekers, higher than average shares are ultimately successful in their asylum claim.
The government is simply feeding an untrue narrative.